Hello, I'm Crystal Dupre, publisher of the Eagle Media Company, and it's my honor to welcome you to Celebrate Nurses, the Heart of Healthcare, an annual event to publicly thank our local nurses for the hard work they do in healthcare every day. There's no way any of us could have imagined the global pandemic would last as long as it has, but one thing remained consistent throughout, and that's the high quality of healthcare our community received. Nurses rise above every day, but the pandemic has really brought to light just how special their role in the healthcare and welfare of our area is. There has never been a time when we value our nurses and healthcare workers more than what we do today. Our goal with this event is to celebrate and dedicate the hard work of an exemplary class of people whose livelihood is to help others in need. This event coincides with National Nurses Week, which begins May 6th and is considered National Nurses Day, and it ends on May 12, which is the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. We hope this celebration raises awareness of the important role and contribution nurses make to their patients and their families in the Brazos Valley. Today is a gathering to show appreciation and to recognize and celebrate those in the field of nursing. All nurses, not just those being recognized today, are heroes. Almost 30 nurses were nominated through an open and public process. A volunteer panel consisting of those who work in the healthcare and healthcare education evaluated the nominations and selected the top nominees. Our judges for the event were Dr. Nancy Fehrenwald, Dean of Texas A&M University College of Nursing, and Michelle Trubenstein, Dean of Health Sciences, Blinn College. Thank you both so much for the time and the effort to contribute to make this year's selections. At this time, I want to invite Baylor Scott & White Health Chaplain David Murphy to say a few words. Had we been in normal times, we would have all been together at a luncheon showcasing the honorees, and Chaplain Murphy would have blessed the food. Instead, we delivered 10 meals to each honoree so that they could have their own private celebration luncheon while watching the video program. Chaplain Murphy.
Hello, I'm David Murphy. I'm the staff chaplain at Baylor Scott & White Medical Center in College Station. We're so glad to be a part of this time today, and I'm going to lead us in prayer for our meal. Dear Lord, we come before you to ask for your blessing on these exceptional nurses and to recognize the care they provide. We celebrate the healing hands of our nurses. We recognize the gifts they bring, the compassion they offer, and the difference they make each day. Give them wisdom and strength for their work. We ask your blessing on our meal today and gratefully acknowledge that every good thing comes from you. We ask your blessing in your name, O Lord. Amen.
This event simply would not be possible without the support of sponsors and partners. Our presenting sponsors for the event are Baylor Scott & White Health and St. Joseph Health. Here today to bring us a word from St. Joseph Health is Beverly Welch, Senior Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer.
I'm Beverly Welch, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer for the St. Joseph Market here in the Brazos Valley. We are just here to thank our nurses for their hard work over the past year. This is the second Nurses Week that we have celebrated since the pandemic started. We did have an early one in 2020, but definitely last year in 2021 and now in 2022, we have continued to do our work with the COVID pandemic and responding to the need of our patients. As we're coming out of the pandemic, we're really starting to see nursing get back to a normal approach to taking care of our patients. It's really nice to be able to see all the hard work that has paid off in the past year for being able to take care of our patients that have arrived at St. Joseph. We look forward to being able to continue to grow our nursing program, to be able to bring in our graduate nurses that are coming in through a residency program this year, being able to recognize our nurses during Nurses Week for all the hard work that they've done over the past year, and we're growing new nurses within the community, both Texas A&M and Blinn and other universities that are around us. We're sending their nurses to us to learn how to be nurses at the bedside, and we really appreciate the care that they're providing. One additional topic I would like to recognize is all of the nurses that are going through their certifications and getting their board certifications in nursing in their specialty field, it really has elevated the level of care that's being provided to our patients at the bedside. So as we celebrate this Nurses Week, thank all the nurses that you work for. Thank your nurse leaders. Thank the nurses that are coming in that are just graduating from nursing school, and take them and mentor them and help them create the profession that we want nursing to be.
We're also happy to have Baylor Scott & White Health as a presenting sponsor of the annual nurses event. Representing Baylor Scott & White Health today is Amber Reed, Vice President and Chief Nursing Officer.
Hi, my name is Amber Reed. I'm the Regional Chief Nursing Officer for Baylor Scott & White College Station. It is an honor to take time this week and reflect on the successes and sacrifices of nurses over the past couple of years. Nursing has been regarded as one of the nation's most trusted professions, and the pandemic further exemplified nurses' role. Our nurses became adaptable, flexible, and resilient during this time. Many nurses went from night shift to day shift, from clinic to hospital. They forever changed their practice in real time as evidence changed in this evolving pandemic. Nursing has forever been changed by COVID-19. Reflecting on the pandemic, the effort of the nurses to treat and care for the community, I will always remember their resilience, their compassionate care, and their continued dedication to the community. At Baylor Scott & White, we recognize nurses as the foundation of our healthcare delivery system, and while our nursing teams are on the front line continuing to provide care, our organization is dedicated to investing in their future. This year, Baylor Scott & White made the largest nursing salary investment in organization's history, including here in College Station. We continue to support nursing also through tuition reimbursement, certification, and continued career growth. I always tell my nurses that they chose a profession that will always be memorable to someone, and that nursing is a calling, not just a career. I want to take this time to thank all the nurses of the Brazos Valley for their continued care and compassionate support of the community, and I also welcome and thank those that will be joining the nursing profession in the future. Thank you to all in the community, and happy Nurses Week.
Thank you. Now, in alphabetical order, let's meet the 10 nurses we will honor today.
I did a clinical rotation through dialysis in nursing school and just realized that I liked being able to build relationships with patients, seeing them several days a week over the years and just getting to know them. I'm Courtney Cordero, and I'm a registered nurse at DaVita Dialysis, but more specifically, I'm a peritoneal dialysis nurse, and I teach patients to do their dialysis at home. I just knew that I wanted to work with people, and I had a friend suggest nursing, so the more I looked at it and the variety of opportunities within nursing, the more I thought that was for me. My favorite part is absolutely seeing people start out fearful of starting dialysis and worried, and being able to transition into realizing that dialysis is just a way for them to live and have some quality of life.
Growing up, I've always thought, nursing was a very giving career. I always have the compassion to help patients, and I've seen people in the Philippines who were sick, and when my brother got sick, I thought that, there could be some better ways that I can probably do to help, and it just got me into it. Okay, my name is Alberto Cruz, and I work at the Physician Center Hospital as a recovery room nurse in the med-surg. The most gratifying part is being able to help, seeing how the patients are being very happy with your care, and they come back and appreciate, they'll tell you if maybe we should appreciate you, and that if it weren't for you, things would not have been that smooth, and it's just, it's a priceless thing. I mean, it's more than anything in this world.
My name is Kim Litzen, and I work at Baylor Scott & White. I'm a clinic charge nurse. I work at the Arrington Road office and the Navasota Family Medicine office. I always wanted to be a nurse, and I actually started out in accounting in college. My father got ill, and I think just being in and out of the hospital and seeing that. So I changed 2 years into an accounting degree and went into nursing, and I just never looked back. Patients. I love patient care. I like being a part of every aspect of it, whether it's teaching a mom or talking to a patient over the phone and triaging them, or just even on the clinical side now, being able to teach other nurses things that come and talk to us or that are new doing clinical stuff.
A little smile on the saddest face. Just knowing that you can do that you make somebody's life just a little bit better, that's all it takes. My name is Amanda Luger, and I am an emergency room nurse at Caprock Health Systems here in Bryan College Station. I started out, actually, it was just by chance. I started as a registration clerk in the emergency room. I was 18 years old, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and found a love for emergency medicine. I thought it was just amazing watching people walk in and they would tell us what their problem was, and then watching them walk out sometimes an hour or two later, happy, ready to go, or sometimes it didn't end up so well. But the thing that was really neat was to me was to be able to help someone. So that was what drew me into nursing.
My name's Maureen Reynolds. I work at St. Joseph's Hospital in Bryan, Texas, and I'm a clinical nurse educator on the monitored pod. So my mom's a nurse, so that's kind of where it started, and I started at St. Joseph's on the observation unit right out of school. That's where I did my new grad residency program, and I really loved it. COVID hit about 18 months into my nursing career, and our observation unit turned into a COVID unit. So I stayed there, worked COVID, became a charge nurse, became a nurse preceptor for new grads who were just starting out. And I worked all through the COVID surges through 2020 and 2021. And then at the end of 2021, I transferred into the nurse educator position that I have now. And as a nurse educator, I love the people. That's my favorite thing. I mean, as a nurse, I love people. That's what I do. But getting to come to work every day and really pour into my teammates and people and techs and nursing students and learn from people around me and help grow people around me and get to watch them really develop and succeed and turn into leaders and better nurses and be able to better serve our community is what just keeps me going.
My name's Alicia Rashu. I work at Baylor Scott & White in College Station. I'm the ER night charge. I actually started off working in psychology and then decided that I really liked helping people. But around that time, my mom got sick with cancer, so I got to see like a more healthcare side of helping people. And I had some excellent examples of nurses in the hospital settings for both that and some other family issues that kind of pushed me to think about doing nursing instead. And I went and I got my LVN because it was a quick way to get into it, not super expensive. And then I did that for almost 8 years, went back for my associate's degree, then my bachelor's degree. I'm almost done with my master's now. So that's kind of how I've progressed. So the most gratifying thing about being a nurse is actually several components. For me, working with my coworkers is one of the best parts about my job. We are like an Army troop. We come together every shift, we go through battles together, we laugh and we cry, and I get to watch brand new nurses come in and grow and be better nurses than I could ever hope to be, and I get to steal knowledge from older nurses that can teach me things that I could have never learned in school. And then I also very much like being at the bedside with people, getting to know them, giving them resources they may not have or know about in the community, and seeing them feel complete throughout like their visit and like they had excellent care.
Well, I had two older sisters that were in the medical field. One of them was a nurse. The other was a physical therapy assistant. And I was always intrigued by what they were doing. I am Shanita Johnson, and I work at St. Joseph Hospital in Bryan. I am a med-surg trauma nurse there, been there for over like 20 years with that. And I am a direct care patient giver. I give direct patient care there. There was a program when we were in high school that was called Health Occupation Students of America, and I joined that program because of my sisters. I thought, well, I'll go into the health field too with that, and fell in love with it, and actually started working in the medical field when I was 15. I was almost 16. They kind of cheated a little bit, but when I was 15 years old with that. And so, and I've been in the medical field ever since. I get great gratification out of knowing that I can make a difference in someone's life with that. When you go in and people are scared when they come in the hospital, often these days they're alone because of COVID and all with that. And so when someone can come in, ill, can't get up out of the bed, and you see them walk out or roll out of that hospital, and knowing that you have made a difference in that you've been a part of that, that is really gratifying for me. So that's what gets me up every day, knowing that I can make a difference.
My name is Katherine Thomas. I work at CHI St. Joseph Primary Care down in South College Station with Dr. Jacques Mamagonian. His nurse, fill in for the triaging of his medical assistant, but I do all of the phone calls, all of the results, all of the questions that come in through the phones and not. That's probably the biggest part. I guess I always wanted to do it out of high school, but I was more on the accounting path at that time, so I was 30 years as an accountant of hotel industry. And then once my daughter graduated from high school and she finished college, I was in an area over in Katy at that time, and Memorial Hermann had their School of Nursing, and it just kind of was something I'd always said I would like to do, and got the opportunity to go and just see if I could do it. And I did it. Probably the job period, whether it's primary care or nursing home or anything else, is just being able to help people and help people understand what's going on. A lot of people, they'll say, well, they said it, but it was in medical terms and I don't understand. So, okay, well, let me break it down. But just being able to help people and ease their minds about what they got going. They may have gotten misunderstood. They took one word for one thing and it really wasn't that bad. So when you explain it to them again, then they're like, oh, thank goodness. That's not really what it was. So, but yeah, just being with the people and helping people.
Yeah, so both my parents actually met in a hospital. They both have backgrounds in healthcare. So I spent a lot of my early life in and around hospitals, just getting to see what gets done. They really both encouraged me to get into nursing when I was kind of thinking about careers. I'm super thankful that they really helped have a positive direction in my life with that decision. My name's Luke Wigley. I work at Baylor Scott & White, and I'm an ICU nurse. So I started a degree in kinesiology at A&M, and towards the end of it, we do an internship in the hospital with cardiac rehab, and I got to really see firsthand what a lot of nurses get to do, and I really just fell in love with all the patient care they got to do, all the tasks, everything that they are involved in that I didn't know about. So that really got me involved in nursing. So I went back and did nursing school at Blinn after I finished at A&M. In the ICU and then at my old job in the ER, we see people with really, really big, drastic problems, and it's super, super gratifying to get to take big, drastic interventions to address those problems. And we may not get those people right back to baseline where they were at first, but eventually we were able to make some kind of progress, get them better, and that's super gratifying to see.
So growing up, my father owned hospitals around Houston. So I was around a bunch of doctors, not so many nurses, and in that environment, and it always intrigued me. Yes, so I'm Melanie Wytek. I've been a nurse for 27 years. I live in College Station. I worked 20-something years in the hospital doing ERs and ICUs and cardiovascular critical care, and now I do home health nursing. And so I'm in the field. I strictly do field nursing. It's literally like a mobile emergency room. I absolutely love my patients like they're my family. I take them all very serious, like as if I'm still working in ICU or the emergency room. Every time I see them, even if I've seen them 3 times in that week, I will reassess them. Just last week, we diagnosed a pneumonia at home, and we're able to keep her at home and seek treatment at home instead of having to go into the hospital. Also, a lady with a pleural effusion got diagnosed with an in-home chest x-ray. Critical care is my thing, and I want to catch things before they worsen, keep people at home, keep them healthy at home. Education is huge to avoid any future complications, and once we get them stabilized, discharge them and let them go about their regular lives again, and that makes me feel ecstatic.
That concludes our virtual event today. We thank you for joining us. From all of us at the Eagle Media Company and our presenting sponsors, St. Joseph Health and Baylor Scott & White Health, congratulations to each of you, and thank you for all you do to make this an amazing community in which we live and raise a family. At this time, we'll hear from Sister Penny Dunn from St. Joseph Health, who will deliver a blessing over all our nurses and healthcare workers.
Hi, I'm Sister Penny Dunn. I'm Vice President for Mission Integration at St. Joseph's Healthcare System. And today, as we celebrate Nurses Week, I just want to call upon our God of comfort to bless each and every one of you nurses and healthcare leaders for your selfless service in caring for our people. You have all responded to God's call to mend the body, to nurse the soul, and to heal the heart. And so I pray, may the Spirit of God live on through the work of your hands. Amen.